Hello, welcome to the channel. I am Christian, and today we are going to learn how to make these louvers. These louvers are going to be dynamic, so we are going to able to change all the dimension of each wooden board, and also we are going to be able to change the amount of pieces that we have here. So let me show you an example. We are going to have just 10 wooden boards. We are going to change the angle. Let's 75. We are going to change the thickness and the width to, let's say, 250. As you can see, it's working pretty fine. So this is a great example of a simple louver. We don't have gaps, we don't have the frame, but I hope you enjoyed the video. We can move to a more complex, the next one. Okay, let's start making our wooden board for the louvers. To make our wooden board, we are going to use a metric generic model. This is the more flexible because it's not going to be restricted to place it in a wall or in a floor or in a face like the others. So I always advise you to use this family. The first thing that we're going to use is a reference line. This line is going to allow us to control the angle. Once we place the line, we're going to look this point in the center to rotate from there. As you can see, we can rotate from here. And once we have the reference line, we are going to use an angular dimensions to make a parameter and control this angle. Remember that always is better to make the angle from the dimension because you are going to have the correct data type. As you can see, it's locked, so you cannot do it wrong. Let's check if the angle parameter is working. Let's place 20. Yeah, it's working. So let's return to 45. So to make the wooden board, we are going to create an extrusion. But we need to set the plane, pick a plane. This plane here is attached to the line. So once we rotate the angle, it's going to move all together. So once we pick here, now we are fine to start drawing the perimeter of our wooden board. Perfect. We need to have this distance equidistant from the center and the same in the other side, so we can rotate it from the middle point. We're going to use align dimensions to do that. This is going to be the width of the wooden board, and this is going to be the thickness. Once we have all the dimensions in place, we can go here, click on equidistance, and great, it's working great. So now we can make our parameter. This is going to be the width, and this is going to be the thickness. Perfect. Let's click on OK, and let's see if everything is working. Let's place it here. So we are going to change the angle, we are going to change the thickness, and we are going to change the width. Apply. Yeah, everything is working together. And also remember, we need to make the height. I forget the height. So we can copy, create the parameter height, and we can apply the height here in the extrusion end. Height. Perfect. We are going to check if it's working. Let's place 1000. Yeah, it's working. Let's look at the 3D. That is always a good reference. Let's change the angle again. Yeah, it's great. It's working. So right now we have our wooden board with an incorporated angle parameter. So the only thing that we need to do now is to make an array of those tables, and we are going to have a louver. So let's go to the next step. Let's start with the second and last step of our louver. We are going to use again a metric generic model. Once we have it open, we are going to place the family that we just made, our wooden board, and we are going to place it just in the center. Once we have it in the centers, we are going to create a reference plane here to control the separation of the wooden boards. The separation is going to be the same as the width, so we are going to have the same parameter. Let's place a dimension, And now we can recreate all the parameters that we have in our wooden board to nest it and control all the dimensions from the main family. So now we are going to create the height. Sorry, we are going to create the width, the thickness, the angle. Remember the data type. And we are going to create a special parameter that is going to be the amount of pieces, because this louver is going to be controlled for the amounts of wooden board. We can also control the width and use calculations to calculate the width of each wooden board, but this is going to be a simple louver, so we are going to use the amount of pieces. Remember that the data type for an array is going to be an integer. Okay, and we are going to use like 6 pieces. The angle is going to be 45, the height 2400, thickness 20, and 120. Perfect, because if you leave everything on 0, once you start nesting the parameters, maybe this family can disappear and you can have errors. So let's start nesting all the parameters. Angle goes with angle. This is pretty easy because we already have all in place, and width. Perfect. We just need to create an array, and this is going to be working. Remember that this dimension is going to be the width. We can also make a more complex louver, so leaving gaps here. Remember, you can do all of that with calculation. So let's go to the icon of array. Once we click on the icon, remember to click on the family first. You have two options, to go to the second or to the last profile. Now we want to use the second because we want to control the amount of pieces that we are going to have. So we have in second, we click here in the center, and we click in this position. It's important, remember, to align the second piece, so once we change this parameter, all our array is going to change at the same time. So we are going to align here and here. Perfect. We're going to click again to associate this parameter with the parameter that we already created. Remember, we changed the data type, so this have to appear here. Yeah, it's here. So we already have this working. Let's say that we want to change the width of our louver of each piece. Let's go to 200. Thanks to this dimension, it's going to move a little bit and it's going to change to extend. Okay, let's go to the 3D. Okay, we have our louver working here. And let's change some parameters just to check if everything is working fine. Let's put 20. Yeah, and let's put 100. This is working great. Let's change the height, 3000. Yeah, it's working. Let's use the things to 100. Everything is working pretty fine. And let's change the amounts. 20. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for my English. This is my first video in English. So let me know if you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want to know how to make a more complex louver, or maybe if you want to know how to do another thing. I see you in the next video. Bye.